Marcus Chen floated through the debris field in his salvage ship, the Wanderer. The old vessel creaked and groaned as he navigated between twisted metal and broken holes. This graveyard of ships was ancient, left over from a war fought centuries ago. Most salvagers avoided this sector, but Marcus needed the parts. His ship was barely holding together. He checked his scanner again. Nothing valuable so far, just worthless scraps and radiation. Marcus sighed and reached for his coffee. It was cold, but he drank it anyway. Being a human salvager in alien space was lonely work. Most species looked down on humans. They called Earth primitive. They said humans were too young, too reckless. Marcus did not care much. He made his living, stayed out of trouble, and sent money back home. That was enough. Suddenly, his scanner screamed. Marcus jumped, spilling coffee on his shirt. He cursed and looked at the screen. Something was falling from above. Fast. Very fast. He looked up through the viewport. A massive alien warship hung in the darkness above him. It was Valkyrie design, sleek and deadly. The scanner showed something small dropping from its lower deck. Marcus zoomed in with his external cameras. His heart stopped. It was a person. Someone was falling through space without a suit. Marcus's hands moved before his brain caught up. He fired the thrusters, angling the Wanderer upward. The small salvage ship protested, engines whining. He opened the cargo bay doors and started calculating. Speed, trajectory, angle. The numbers scrolled across his screen. This was crazy. Absolutely crazy. The falling figure was seconds from hitting the planet's atmosphere below. Once that happened, they would burn up. Nothing could survive that. Marcus pushed the engines harder. The ship shook violently. Alarms blared in his ears. He ignored them all. His eyes were locked on the tumbling figure. Closer, closer. "Come on," he whispered. "Come on." The Wanderer surged upward. Marcus adjusted thrust with tiny movements. Too much and he would miss. Too little and they would both die. Sweat ran down his face. His fingers danced across the controls. The figure fell into his cargo bay with a heavy thud. Marcus immediately reversed thrust and sealed the doors. Air flooded the bay. He dove for the medical kit and ran to the cargo hold. The person lying on his floor was definitely alien. And definitely female. Her skin was pale blue, almost silver in the dim light. She wore elaborate robes, torn and bloodied. Gold jewelry wrapped around her arms and neck. Her face was delicate but bruised. Long white hair spread around her head, like a halo dot. She was not breathing. Marcus dropped to his knees and started chest compressions. He had trained for this, but never on an alien. He hoped their biology was close enough to human. Push, push, push. He tilted her head back and breathed into her mouth. More compressions, more breaths. "Come on," he said again. "Do not die on me." Her body jerked. She coughed violently, spitting up fluid. Her eyes snapped open. They were golden, like molten metal. She stared at Marcus in confusion and terror. Before he could say anything, the entire ship rocked sideways. Alarms screamed. Marcus was thrown against the wall. The alien woman tumbled across the floor. "What now?" Marcus shouted. He scrambled to the cockpit and looked at his screens. The Valkyrie warship above was firing at him. Plasma bolts lit up space around the Wanderer. One hit the shields and they flickered dangerously. Marcus did not hesitate. He strapped into his chair and grabbed the controls. The Wanderer was old and small, but she was fast. He dove the ship toward the debris field, weaving between broken holes. Plasma bolts followed him, destroying ancient wrecks. He needed to jump. Hyperspace was the only escape. But the jump drive needed 30 seconds to charge. 30 seconds he did not have. Marcus flew like a madman. He spun the ship through a gap barely wider than his hull. He used a destroyed cruiser as cover, then boosted away at maximum speed. The warship kept firing. They wanted the woman dead very badly. 20 seconds. The jump drive hummed, building power. Another hit to the shields. They collapsed completely. The next shot would tear through his hull like paper. 15 seconds. Marcus saw a cluster of asteroids ahead. He aimed for them. The Wanderer shot into the field. Rocks scraped against the hull. His ship screamed in protest. The warship hesitated, not wanting to risk damage. 10 seconds. Marcus broke through the other side of the asteroid field. Open space. He was exposed. The warship fired again. A plasma bolt streaked toward him. 5 seconds. The bolt was going to hit. Marcus could see it on his screen. He closed his eyes. The jump drive activated. Reality twisted. The Wanderer vanished into hyperspace just as the plasma bolt reached them. It passed harmlessly through empty space where they had been. Marcus opened his eyes. The blue tunnel of hyperspace surrounded his ship. They were safe. For now, he let out a breath he did not know he was holding. His hands were shaking. He unbuckled and went back to the cargo hold. The alien woman was awake. She had pulled herself into a corner, eyes wide with fear and pain. She was holding a piece of broken metal like a weapon. When she saw Marcus, she spoke rapidly in a language he did not understand. Her voice was musical, but desperate. Marcus raised his hands slowly. "Easy. I am not going to hurt you." She spoke again, more frantically. She was clearly asking questions. Who was he? Where were they? What did he want? Marcus pointed to himself. "Marcus." He pointed to her and raised his eyebrows questioningly. She stared at him for a long moment. Then she slowly lowered the metal shard. She touched her chest. "Sayara." Marcus nodded. "Sayara. Okay." He gestured around the ship, then made a sleeping motion. "You are safe here. Rest." Sayara looked at him with those golden eyes. She was trying to understand him, trying to decide if she could trust him. Finally, exhaustion won. Her eyes fluttered closed, and she slumped against the wall. Marcus grabbed a blanket and carefully draped it over her. She did not wake. He sat down nearby, keeping watch. He had no idea who she was, or why someone wanted her dead. But he had made his choice when he caught her. Now he would see it through. Outside, hyperspace rushed past. The Wanderer carried them away from danger, deeper into the unknown. Marcus Chen, human salvager, had just changed his life forever. He just did not know it yet. Part 2, the translation 3. Days passed in the depths of the Vortex Nebula. Marcus had hidden the Wanderer inside the swirling clouds of gas and radiation. Sensors could not penetrate this place. It was the perfect hiding spot. Sayara spent most of the first day unconscious. Marcus checked on her regularly, treating her wounds as best he could. She had broken ribs, cuts across her arms, and a deep bruise on her temple. He used his medical supplies carefully. They were meant for humans, but alien biology was close enough. The nanite gel seemed to work. Her wounds began to heal. On the second day, she woke properly. Marcus was in the cockpit when he heard movement. He found her standing in the cargo hold, leaning against the wall for support. She looked stronger, but still weak. She spoke to him again in her language. Marcus shook his head and pointed to his ear. "I do not understand." Sayara frowned. She touched her throat, then pointed at him. She was asking if he could understand her. Marcus had an idea. He went to his computer and pulled up the translation program. The ship's AI was old but functional. He activated the recording mode and gestured to Sayara. "Talk. Please talk." She looked confused but began speaking. Her voice filled the small ship with flowing musical words. Marcus recorded everything. After a few minutes, he stopped her and played it back. The AI began analyzing the sounds, looking for patterns and structures. Sayara understood. Her eyes widened. She pointed at the computer and spoke more, this time slower and clearer. Marcus recorded again. They spent hours like this. Sayara would speak. Marcus would record. The AI would learn. Slowly, painfully, a translation matrix began to form. By the third day, they could communicate in broken sentences. The computer translated her words into English and his words into Valkyrie. It was clumsy and imperfect, but it worked. "You, Human? Sayara asked, staring at Marcus with wonder. Yes, human. From Earth. She made a sound that might have been a laugh. Earth. Primitive world. We. We are taught humans are children, young species, weak. Marcus smiled. Many think that? They are not completely wrong. We are young. But you saved me. Sayara touched her ribs, now mostly healed. You caught me. Impossible catch. You healed me. You hide from worship. She shook her head. Not weak. Marcus shrugged. I did what anyone should do. No. Sayara's voice was firm. No one does this. Not in Empire. Not anywhere. She paused, and sadness filled her golden eyes. Tell me, why did you save me? Because you needed help? That is all? That is enough. Sayara looked at him for a long time. Then she began to speak, and her story came out in broken, translated pieces. She was Princess Sayara of the Velkari Empire. Her father was Emperor Theron, ruler of 300 worlds. She had been traveling on a diplomatic mission when her ship was taken over. Her uncle, Lord Kavros, had staged a coup. My father, she whispered, and her voice broke. My mother, my 2 brothers, all killed. I watched. Kavros killed them in the throne room. Marcus felt anger rise in his chest. I am sorry. He threw me from the ship, told his soldiers I was dead, told the Empire that pirates destroyed our ship. Everyone believes him now. Tears ran down her blue cheeks. Everyone thinks I am dead. But you are not dead, Marcus said gently. You are here? Yes. But I am alone. If I reveal myself, Kavros will hunt me. He has the military. He has the fleet. He will kill me. Then we do not reveal you. Not yet. Sayara looked at him. You are on my ship? That makes you my responsibility. She made that laughing sound again, but it was bitter. You are strange human. Do you not want reward? I am princess. I have wealth, or you could sell me. Kavoris would pay much for my silence. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. I do not sell people, and I do not need your money. Then what do you want? I want to know where you want to go. Sayara blinked. The question seemed to surprise her. She was quiet for a moment, thinking. There is one place. Conclave Station. It is neutral territory. No empire, no kingdom. Just the Conclave. If I reach there, I can request asylum. I can expose Kavros. How far? From here, 12 hyperspace jumps, through dangerous space, pirate territory, warlord systems. And Kavros will have bounty hunters searching. Marcus nodded slowly. 12 jumps. That will take 2, maybe 3 weeks. It is suicide, Sayara said quietly. For me, maybe it is worth the risk. But you should leave me at the nearest station. Save yourself. Not going to happen. Why? She sounded frustrated now. Why do you risk your life for a stranger? Marcus stood up and looked out the viewport at the swirling nebula. When I was young, my colony on Mars was hit by a solar storm. The shields failed. Everyone should have died. But a passing alien cargo ship diverted to help us. They did not have to. We were nobody to them. But they saved 300 humans anyway. He turned back to Sayara. The captain of that ship told me something. He said the measure of a person is not what species they are or how powerful they are. It is what they do when someone needs help and no one is watching. Sayara stared at him. Her golden eyes were wet. Someone is watching now, Marcus continued. You are watching. So I will do what is right. We will get you to Conclave Station. Sayara covered her face with her hands. Her shoulders shook. Marcus realized she was crying. Really crying, for the first time since he caught her. All the pain and fear and grief came pouring out. Marcus did not know what to do. Comfort was not his strength. But he sat down next to her and waited. Sometimes that was enough. After a while, Sayara lowered her hands. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you, Marcus Chen." "You are welcome, Princess Sayara." "Just Sayara. I am not princess anymore, just ... refugee." "All right, just Sayara." Marcus stood and offered his hand. "Let me show you the ship. If we are traveling together, you should know how everything works." Sayara took his hand and stood. She was steadier now, stronger. For the next few hours, Marcus showed her the Wanderer. He explained the engines, the life support, the weapons systems. Sayara absorbed everything quickly. She was clearly intelligent and trained. She asked good questions. When they reached the cockpit, Sayara touched the controls gently. "This ship, it is old. Human design. Yes, about 40 years old. I have modified it a lot." "Modified how?" Marcus grinned. "You will see. We leave tomorrow. Time to start our journey." Sayara looked nervous but determined. 12 jumps to freedom. 12 jumps to freedom, Marcus agreed. Outside, the nebula swirled in beautiful colors. Inside, 2 unlikely allies prepared for the dangerous road ahead. A human salvager and an alien princess. Bound together by chance and choice, the hunt was about to begin. Part 3. The hunt. The first 3 jumps went smoothly. Marcus piloted the Wanderer through empty sectors, avoiding trade routes and patrol zones. Sayara watched everything with curious eyes. She was fascinated by the way Marcus worked. "Your jump calculations," she said on the 4th day, "they are wrong." Marcus looked up from his console. "Excuse me? According to Valkyrie mathematics, your hyperspace formula cannot work. The energy requirements are too high. Your ship should not be able to jump." Marcus grinned. "But we do jump." "Yes. How?" "Human engineering. We do not have fancy Valkyrie technology, so we learned to cheat." He pulled up a diagram. "See this? I modified the jump drive to use a rotating field instead of a stable one. It uses 40% less power. It's impossible. The field would collapse." It does collapse. For exactly 3 nanoseconds. Then it rebuilds. The jump happens in that tiny window. Sayara stared at him. "That is ... insane. That is human." Marcus laughed. "We are good at making insane things work." They jumped again, entering the 5th system. This one was different. More dangerous. The scanner showed several ships in the area. "Pirates, probably?" "Stay quiet," Marcus said. "We are just a salvage ship." Not interesting. But luck was not with them. One of the pirate vessels changed course. It was heading straight for them. "They are hailing us," Sayara said, reading the console. "Ignore them. We are leaving." Marcus started charging the jump drive. The pirate ship fired a warning shot. Then another hail came through. This time, a voice crackled over the speakers. It spoke in trade language, which the computer translated. "Salvage ship Wanderer. We are conducting inspections. Cut your engines and prepare to be boarded." "Inspection," Marcus muttered. "Sure. More like robbery." He looked at Sayara. "Strap in. This might get rough." She buckled into the co-pilot seat. "What are you going to do?" "Something stupid." Marcus turned the Wanderer hard to port and fired all thrusters. The small ship shot forward, accelerating fast. The pirate vessel was bigger and more heavily armed, but it was slow. Marcus dove toward the nearby asteroid belt. "You are flying into the asteroids?" Sayara gripped her seat. "They will not follow." "Too dangerous? For them or for us?" "Both." The Wanderer plunged into the belt. Rocks tumbled through space in chaotic patterns. Marcus flew between them with practiced skill. His hands moved constantly on the controls. Up, down, spin, boost. The ship danced through the deadly field. The pirate ship did follow. It was braver than Marcus expected, or greedier. Plasma shots lit up space around them. One hit an asteroid and shattered it. Debris scattered everywhere. "Jump drive?" Sayara asked. 20 seconds? Another shot? This one clipped their shields. Alarms blared. Marcus ignored them. He saw a gap between two large asteroids and aimed for it. The Wanderer shot through. The pirate ship followed, but Marcus had seen something the pirates had not. The two asteroids were slowly moving together. Closing the gap, the Wanderer made it through with meters to spare. The pirate ship was not so lucky. It tried to stop, but momentum carried it forward. The asteroids crashed together, crushing the ship between them. An explosion lit up the belt. "Jump drive ready," Sayara said, her voice shaky. Marcus activated it. The Wanderer vanished into hyperspace. When they emerged, they were in the sixth system. Halfway to Conclave Station, Sayara let out a long breath. "You are crazy," she said. "I prefer the term creative." She almost smiled. Then her expression changed. "Marcus, we have a problem." She pointed at the long-range scanner. 3 ships were approaching. Fast. Military design. "Bounty hunters?" Marcus said grimly. "They found us." He ran a quick scan. The ships were heavily armed. New models. Expensive. Someone was paying a lot for Sayara's death. "Can we jump?" Sayara asked. "Drive needs 10 minutes to recharge." "We do not have 10 minutes. The bounty hunter ships spread out, forming a triangle. They were boxing the Wanderer in, a professional tactic. These were not random pirates. These were trained killers. A message came through. "Salvage ship Wanderer. You are harboring a fugitive. Surrender the Velkari princess and you will not be harmed." Marcus did not bother responding. Instead, he started flipping switches. "Sayara, take the weapons console." "What are we doing?" "Fighting against 3 military vessels." "In a salvage ship? You have a better idea?" Sayara stared at him. Then she moved to the weapons station. "Tell me what to do," Marcus explained quickly. The Wanderer had 2 plasma cannons and 1 missile launcher. Not much, but it was something. "Wait for my signal. Then fire everything at the ship on our left." "Just the left? What about the others?" "Trust me." The bounty hunters closed in. Marcus let them get closer. Closer. They were confident. Arrogant. They thought this would be easy. Now. Marcus shouted, "Sayara fired!" Both plasma cannons and 3 missiles hit the left ship simultaneously. Its shields flickered and failed. The ship veered away, trailing smoke. But that was not the real attack. While the bounty hunters focused on their damaged ally, Marcus activated every thruster at once. The Wanderer shot forward, straight at the center ship. The bounty hunters panicked. They were not expecting a ramming attack. The center ship tried to move, but Marcus was faster. At the last second, he spun the Wanderer 90 degrees and fired the port thrusters. The salvage ship slid sideways, just barely missing the bounty hunter. But the magnetic grapples Marcus had deployed latched onto their hull. "Hold on," Marcus shouted. He fired all thrusters. The Wanderer pulled the bounty hunter ship with it, using the larger vessel as a shield. The 3rd bounty hunter was still firing, and now its shots hit its own ally instead of Marcus. Chaos erupted. The bounty hunter tried to shake free, but Marcus held the grapples tight. He spun them both in a wild spiral, making it impossible for the 3rd ship to get a clean shot. "Jump drive," Marcus yelled. 5 minutes. Sayara called back. Marcus released the grapples and fired reverse thrusters. The bounty hunter ship tumbled away. Marcus dove under it, using it as cover again. The 3rd ship kept firing, damaging its ally more and more. The injured 1st ship had recovered and was coming back. Now Marcus had 2 active enemies. The odds were getting worse. 3 minutes, Sayara said. An idea hit Marcus. Crazy, reckless, perfectly human. He aimed the Wanderer at the nearest moon and accelerated hard. The bounty hunters followed. They were angry now, sloppy. Marcus skimmed the moon's surface so close that the hull scraped the ground. Dust and rocks flew up behind him. The bounty hunters followed, firing constantly. Marcus pulled up hard. The Wanderer shot away from the moon at a steep angle. One bounty hunter pulled up with him, the other did not react fast enough. It crashed into the moon's surface at full speed. The explosion was massive. 1 minute? Sayara shouted. Only one bounty hunter left, but it was the best pilot. It matched Marcus's every move. Shots hammered their shields. They were failing. 30 seconds. Marcus gritted his teeth. He needed a few more seconds. Just a few more. The last bounty hunter fired a missile. Marcus saw it coming. He could not dodge. Shields were too weak. He did the only thing he could. Opened the cargo bay doors and ejected everything inside. Spare parts, scrap metal, empty containers. All of it flew out into space. The missile hit a piece of metal and detonated early. The explosion rocked the Wanderer, but they survived. Jump drive ready. Marcus activated it without hesitation. The universe twisted. They vanished. When they emerged in the seventh system, both of them sat in silence for a long moment. Finally, Sayara spoke. How did you do that? Do what? Win. Against 3 professional hunters. Marcus leaned back in his chair. I did not fight fair. They expected military tactics, standard maneuvers. I gave them chaos instead. Sayara shook her head in wonder. Humans, you fight like nothing else in the galaxy. You fight to survive. Always have. She looked at him with new respect. The Empire is wrong about your people. Maybe, but that is starting to change. Marcus smiled. One princess at a time. Sayara smiled back. A real smile this time. They still had 5 more jumps to go. 5 more chances to be caught. But now they both believed they might actually make it. The hunt continued. But the prey had teeth. Part 4. The bond the damage from. The bounty hunter fight was worse than Marcus had thought. On the 8th jump, warning lights filled the cockpit. The jump drive was overheating. The hull had microfractures. One of the plasma cannons was completely offline. We need to land, Marcus said. Do repairs. Sayara checked the star charts. The next system has a habitable moon. No settlements. Just wilderness. Perfect. We land, fix what we can, then continue. They emerged from hyperspace near a green and blue moon. It looked peaceful. Marcus scanned for life signs and found only plants and simple animals. No sentient beings. No technology. Safe. The Wanderer descended through the atmosphere with concerning noises. Marcus found a clearing near a forest and set down gently. The engines died with a wheeze. How long for repairs? Sayara asked. Marcus walked around the ship checking damage. 2 days, maybe 3. The hull needs welding. The jump drive needs to cool and recalibrate, and we need to scavenge parts. Scavenge from where? Marcus pointed at the ship. From here, we cannibalize non-essential systems to fix essential ones. They set to work. Marcus was surprised by how much Sayara knew about ships. Despite being royalty, she had been trained in engineering and mechanics. She explained that Valkyrie nobles were required to understand technology. My father said, "Leader who does not understand the tools of power is a fool," she said, while helping Marcus remove a panel. They worked through the afternoon and into the evening. When the sun set, they built a small camp outside. Marcus started a fire using scrap metal and chemical fuel. Sayara watched the flames with fascination. "We do not have this on Valkyrie Prime," she said. "Fire in the open. It is forbidden. Too dangerous." "Sometimes dangerous things are also beautiful," Marcus said. They ate rations and looked at the alien stars. 3 moons hung in the sky, casting silver light over the forest. Strange sounds echoed from the trees. Calls of animals they could not see. "Tell me about Earth," Sayara said suddenly. "Your home." Marcus poked the fire with a stick. "Earth is complicated, beautiful in places, it's damaged in others. Humans almost destroyed it before we learned better. Now we are trying to fix it while also reaching for the stars." "Why reach for the stars if your home is damaged?" "Because we need both. We need to heal Earth and explore beyond it. Cannot do just one." Sayara nodded slowly. "That is wise. The Empire only looks outward, conquering, expanding. We forgot to care for what we already have." "Is that why your uncle took power? For more conquest?" "Yes. Ciara's voice was bitter. My father wanted peace. He was negotiating treaties with the free worlds. My uncle said it was weakness. He wanted war, glory, empire. What do you want? Ciara was quiet for a long time. I want to change things. If I reclaim my throne, I want to stop the conquest. Sign the treaties my father started. Reform our laws. She laughed sadly. But that is a dream. First, I must survive. You will survive, Marcus said firmly. We will get you to Conclave Station. And then you do what you must. Reclaim your empire. Change it. It will not be easy. Many nobles support Kavaros. They like his way. War brings them wealth and power. Nothing worth doing is easy. They sat in silence for a while. The fire crackled. Night insects sang in the forest. Marcus, Ciara said quietly, why do you help me? The real reason. You say it is duty. You must do the right thing. But there is more. I see it. Marcus considered his answer carefully. When I was young, I believed humans could earn respect in the galaxy by being useful, by working hard, by being better than they thought we were. He smiled sadly. But respect is not given for work. It is given for strength, power. He looked at Ciara. Then I met you, a princess, someone with all the power in the universe. And you were falling, dying. And in that moment, power meant nothing. You were just a person who needed help, and that was enough. That was everything. Because if we do not help each other, what is the point of anything? Power, empire, it all means nothing if we cannot do the simple thing. Catch someone when they fall. Ciara's golden eyes reflected the firelight. You are not like anyone I have ever met. Is that good or bad? It is good. Very good. She smiled. The Empire sees humans as primitive, young, weak, but they are wrong. You have something we lost long ago. What is that? Kindness that expects nothing in return. Courage without glory. Humanity. She laughed at her own word choice. Maybe that is why your species is called that? You have humanity. Marcus felt his face warm. He was not used to such praise. You have those things too? Just forgot them because of the Empire. Perhaps Ciara stood and stretched. I should sleep. More work tomorrow. Take the ship. I will keep watch. Wake me in 4 hours. We share the watch. Marcus nodded. Ciara went inside the Wanderer. He stayed by the fire, looking at the alien stars. The next 2 days passed quickly. He worked on the ship from dawn until dusk. Marcus taught Ciara human repair techniques. She taught him Valkyrie engineering principles. They made a good team. During meals, they talked more. Marcus told her about Earth's history. The wars, the struggles, the slow climb to the stars. Ciara told him about Valkyrie culture, the art, the music, the beauty hidden beneath the Empire's military face. When I was young, Ciara said, I wanted to be an explorer, not a princess. I wanted to see the galaxy, meet new species, learn new things. You still can. After this is over, if I survive, if I win, I will have an empire to rule. No time for exploration. Maybe you can do both. Be a different kind of empress. One who explores ideas instead of conquering worlds. Ciara looked at him thoughtfully. Give me hope, Marcus Chen. Dangerous hope? Why dangerous? Because hope makes you believe things can change, and belief leads to action. Action leads to... She trailed off. To what? To caring about the outcome. I did not care if I lived or died. Not after my family was killed. I just wanted Kavros to pay. But now, she looked away. Now I want to live, to try, to see if your hope is real. Marcus felt something shift between them, a connection deeper than just allies. He cleared his throat. Good, because I did not catch you just to watch you give up. On the 3rd day, the repairs were complete. The Wanderer was not perfect, but she would fly. They prepared to leave before they boarded. Ciara stopped, turned to Marcus, and placed her hand over his chest. A Valkyrie gesture he had learned meant respect and trust. Thank you, she said, for everything. Marcus covered her hand with his. We are not done yet. For more jumps. For more jumps to freedom. They lifted off from the peaceful moon. As they climbed into space, Marcus realized something had changed. This was not just a mission anymore, not just duty. He cared about Sayara as a friend. Maybe more. It's that complicated things. But he pushed the thought away. They had a goal. Get to Conclave Station. Everything else could wait. As they jumped into hyperspace, neither of them saw the small probe watching from the forest. It had been tracking them since they landed. Lord Cavros now knew exactly where they were, and he was sending everything he had to stop them. The final confrontation was coming. Part 5. The revelation the 9th and 10th jumps were quiet. Too quiet. Marcus felt uneasy. After all the attacks, suddenly nothing. No bounty hunters. No pirates. Just empty space. They are planning something, Sayara said, voicing his thoughts. Agreed. Cavros knows we are heading to Conclave Station. He will be waiting. On the 11th jump, they emerged in a border system. Just one more jump to Conclave Station. One more jump to safety. The scanner exploded with contacts. Ships. Dozens of them. No, hundreds. A full fleet surrounded the jump point. That is the Third Imperial Fleet. Cavros brought an armada. The fleet was positioned in a sphere around them. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers. Enough firepower to destroy planets. All focused on one small salvage ship. A transmission came through. The screen showed a Valkyrie male with sharp features and cold eyes. He wore an admiral's uniform covered in medals. Princess Sayara, Lord Cavros said. His voice was smooth. You have led us on quite a chase, but it ends now. Surrender yourself, and the human will go free. Resist, and you both die. Sayara stood before the screen, regal despite her torn clothing and worn appearance. You murdered my family, Cavros. Stole the throne. Why should I believe you will spare anyone? Because I am not a monster? I did what was necessary for the Empire. Your father was weak. He would have destroyed everything our people built. He wanted peace. Peace is stagnation. The Empire needs strength. I bring strength. Cavros leaned forward. Come home, niece. Publicly support my rule. I will spare your life. You can live quietly on a colony world. You mean imprisoned? Mean alive? His eyes flickered to Marcus. The human means nothing to me. Let him go. This is Valkyrie business. Marcus started to speak, but Sayara cut him off. No, I will not surrender. And I will expose your crimes to the galaxy. Avros sighed. Then you choose death. How unfortunate. All fleet units prepare to fire on my command. The transmission ended. The fleet began moving into attack formation. Hundreds of weapons locked onto the tiny wanderer. Marcus ran calculations frantically. Even if they jumped immediately, the fleet would follow. Conclave Station was just one jump away, but they would never make it. Ideas? He asked Sayara. Run, hide, pray, not much of a plan? It is all we have. Marcus looked at the overwhelming force arrayed against them. His ship, his life, and Sayara's life. All about to end because one man wanted. Power, no, he refused to accept that. An idea formed. Crazy, reckless, typical human. Ah, do you trust me? She looked at him. With my life, good, because this is going to be insane. Marcus activated the communications array and broadcast on all frequencies. Every ship in the sector would hear this. including Conclave Station. Attention all vessels. This is Captain Marcus Chen, of Earth. I carry Princess Sayara of the Velkari Empire. She is alive and seeking asylum. Lord Kavros is a traitor who murdered the royal family. We are heading to Conclave Station under Protocol Terra. Sayara looked confused. What is Protocol Terra? It does not exist. But they do not know that. The fleet hesitated. The ships did not fire. They were waiting for orders. Another transmission came. Kavros looked angry now. Protocol Terra. There is no such thing. You bluff, human, do I? You know about human protocols? Our defensive measures? Our weapons? Marcus smiled coldly. We are a young species, unpredictable, dangerous when cornered. Are you willing to bet the entire fleet? Kavros faltered. Just for a second. But that second was enough, Marcus continued. Here's what happens now. You let us pass. We reach Conclave Station. Or I activate Protocol Terra, and you learn exactly why older species fear humanity's creativity. It was complete nonsense. Marcus had nothing. No weapons. No plan. Just words. But doubt was a powerful thing. Movement caught Marcus's eye. Ships were appearing on the edge of the system. Not Velkari. Different designs. Dozens of them. Sayara checked the scanner. Those are free world vessels. And Conclave defense ships? And Marcus, half the species in this sector, just jumped in. More transmissions came. A Conclave representative appeared on screen. This is Arbitrator Thulos of the Conclave. We have monitored your communications, Captain Chen. If Princess Sayara seeks asylum, she will be granted safe passage. Lord Kavros, you have no authority in neutral space. Withdraw your fleet. Kavros appeared on another channel. The princess is a fugitive. She must face imperial justice. Justice. Another voice joined. A free world commander. We have evidence of your coup, Kavros. Your own communications. Someone on your fleet has been transmitting for days. Possible, Kavros said. But his face went pale. Very possible, Thulos said. Princess Sayara's claims are verified. The Conclave recognizes her as the legitimate heir. You are hereby declared a war criminal. More ships kept appearing. Species that had suffered under Velkari rule. Species that wanted change. They had all been waiting for this moment. Marcus looked at Sayara. Did you transmit evidence? No. You. No. Then Marcus realized. The ship's AI? It had been automatically uploading everything to a backup server. Every conversation, every recording, including Sayara's story. And that server was accessible to anyone who knew where to look. Someone in Kavros's fleet had found it and shared it. Kavros realized he had lost. His own people had betrayed him. The lies were exposed. All units, he commanded his fleet, destroy the salvage ship. Now. But the fleet did not fire. Ship after ship powered down weapons. Captains were refusing orders. One battleship broke formation, then another. They were defecting. This is Captain Torin of the battleship Relentless, a new voice said. We serve the Empire, not a murderer. Princess Sayara, we offer our protection. More ships declared loyalty to Sayara. The fleet was fracturing. Kavora screamed orders, but it was chaos. Ships were fighting each other. Some still loyal to him, most turning against him. We need to go, Marcus said. Now, the Wanderer jumped. When they emerged, Conclave Station filled the viewport. A massive structure, neutral territory, surrounded by defensive platforms and allied ships. They were safe. Sayara sat in silence for a moment. Then she started laughing. Real, genuine laughter. Marcus joined her. Protocol Terra, she said between laughs. You made up a fake human weapon, and they believed you. Fear is a powerful motivator. Everyone thinks humans are crazy and dangerous. I just used that reputation. Ships were approaching. Conclave security and free world escorts. Transmissions flooded in. requests for statements, offers of alliance. Sayara's supporters were rallying. A formal conclave delegation arrived at their airlock. Representatives from dozens of species. They treated Sayara with full royal honors. Thulos, the arbitrator, bowed to her. Princess Sayara, the conclave recognizes you as Empress of the Velkhari people. We offer whatever assistance you need to reclaim your throne. Sayara stood tall. Despite her worn appearance, she looked every bit a ruler. I accept your recognition, and I will need your help. The empire must change. No more conquest. No more cruelty. Peace and cooperation with all species. A bold vision, Tholo said. We support it. The delegation left to make preparations. Ships were already gathering. Loyal Velkhari forces. Free world allies. Everyone who wanted change. Sayara would return to Velkhari Prime with an armada at her back. But first, she turned to Marcus. They were alone in the cargo bay where this had all started, where he had caught her. I must go, she said quietly. Reclaim my empire. Face my uncle. It will be dangerous. Long, I know. I want to ask you to come with me, but I cannot. You have done enough. More than enough. You deserve to go home. Marcus nodded. Earth is a long way from here, but you will go. Eventually, after I resupply, maybe do a few salvage runs, he smiled. Someone has to pay for all those repairs. Sayara smiled too, but sadness filled her eyes. I wish things were different. I wish I was not an empress. Just someone who could explore the galaxy. With a friend? Maybe someday. After you change the empire, take that exploration trip you wanted. Would you come with me? Maybe if you ask nicely. Sayara stepped forward. She placed both hands over his heart in the Velkhari gesture of deep respect. Then she leaned forward and touched her forehead to his. A gesture Marcus did not know. It meant something more than respect. Thank you, Marcus Chen, she whispered. For catching me? For saving me. For showing me that kindness still exists. Thank you for trusting me, Marcus replied. They stood like that for a moment. Then Sayara stepped back. She was empress now. Duty called. I have one request, she said formally. When I reclaim my throne, I want to establish formal relations with Earth. A treaty. Recognition of humanity as equals. Earth would like that. And one more thing. I will need an ambassador. Someone humanity trusts. Someone I trust. She looked at him meaningfully. Would you consider it? Marcus blinked. Me. An ambassador? You caught a falling princess? Fought an empire. Bluffed your way through a blockade. Who better to represent humanity? Marcus laughed. I am just a salvager. You're more than that. You are proof that humanity belongs among the stars. Before Marcus could answer, a transmission came through. Empress Sayara, the fleet is ready. We await your command. Sayara looked at Marcus one last time. Think about it. When this is over, find me. Whatever you decide, I will. She walked to the airlock. At the threshold, she turned back. Marcus, yes, do not wait too long. Then she was gone. Surrounded by guards and advisors, an empress returning to claim her throne. Marcus watched through the viewport as ships gathered around her flagship. The fleet jumped to hyperspace, heading toward Velkhari Prime, toward war, toward change. The Wanderer felt very empty suddenly. Marcus sat in his pilot chair and looked at the controls. His old, beat-up salvage ship, his simple life. But things had changed. He had changed. His communication console blinked. A message from Earth's government. They had heard about everything. They wanted to talk to him. Marcus smiled. Maybe being an ambassador would not be so bad. It would certainly be more exciting than salvage work. And when the war was over, when Sayara had won and changed the empire, maybe he would visit. See her palace. Take that exploration trip she mentioned. After all, she'd asked him to catch her once. Maybe he would catch her again. The stars waited. The galaxy was vast, and for the first time, humanity had a real place in it. All because one human salvager had done something simple. He had caught someone when they fell, and sometimes that is enough to change the universe.